Good evening. How are we doing, all you wonderful, lovely, wonderful people? I've turned all my lights on and everything's on, and I promised you something last weekend. Didn't I promise you something? I promised you something. And what did I promise you? I promised you some latex. So there we go. Got my hoodie on as well. So I did promise, and I delivered. The Reddies are... You did see the Reddies? You got a brief glimpse of the Reddies? Yes, the Reddies are back. The Reddies are on. I'm trying a new shine today as well. It was cheap. And to be honest, it's looking alright. It's looking alright. It's not looking too dry. A nice sheen to it. Nice shine. It's Victor. Oh, so yes, I'm in sweaty, clammy latex for the first time in a few weeks. Probably pleasing everybody. I think half of Instagram is probably going to come over here and see this. So yes, we are in. It is. How much my red trousers excite everybody. Ignore the clock again. That's your time. That's your clock, not mine. I never set it. I never change it. It just every so often it just randomly displays a clock. It displays the Zelda imagery, and every so often it just shows the time, and the time's wrong. So we just ignore that. We just leave it and go away. But anyway, I need to show you. I need to just get out of Valheim into my into the open world area, and then I can show you what I've been doing. So, what's up? Well, what's up is, first of all, been buying some things again. Bought a DJI mic. That's for when I go out, because I'm going to go and start doing more vlogging. Because I do enjoy vlogging. And not for in stream. This is you know, this works well. Me light up mic, me light up day glow mic works well enough in stream. So the intro music has finished. Digital Shadows 80s. Have a look what Valheim looks like. So this is Valheim. This is my lovely game of Valheim. I'm going to go to the side camera. Oh, you guys like it. Plus you get to the lovely latex. So this is the roller coaster theme park stuff I've been building. What have I done since I last saw you guys? Well, if you remember, I was building Boat Go Wee. You'll notice I've left the environment. It's a very tall glass. It is a very tall glass. It is a... I think it's a Carlin Black Label glass. I don't know. I nicked it from a club. So that is the... That is, you remember that, and I built Boat Go Wee, which hasn't changed at all. It's not been changed on it, improved. I'm probably going to remove that and make it a little bit lower, because me, thief, never. I left it on the wall, didn't they, outside, so, you know, they get everything they deserve. Anyway, I'm just checking that you've got volume on the Valheim. I'm not hearing a lot. So yeah, that's my roller coaster, big wheel and all that. Like you've seen most of this stuff, yeah, and the reprofile curve on the track, which still love. However, what I have been doing, and this is why I've left the environment on, because you need to see this with the swamp weather. I'll just wait for the swamp weather to come in. Swamp environmental effects to come in. Here comes the swamp. I will turn off fly mode because I need to walk through this really to show you. So it's now got a front. It's got that, which I've had to put a top over just to keep it from burning out. So this is the haunted house. It's not finished, but it's getting better. This is the track. This is the Room of Desolation with the woodland, fake woodland. And we head out into the woods, so you don't even realise you've left the house. Still got to fill that bit of roof in. And we have Surtling spawner, which I've found out how to make surtling spawners, and a hand coming out of the swamp. One of those sinister statues, which on its own is just enough to make you go, ah! And I've done a curved track here with another surtling spawner. Because, you know, just fire coming out of the swamp looks great. That's Bob. Hello, Bob. And we drop back onto this, and then do you remember I said I was going to take you into this room? I took you into this room, and I've done a few more bits. I put a bearskin rug in. Put some wraith trophies there. Closed all this in, the skeletal passage. So this is, apart from obviously doing, you know, a few dressing parts, it's pretty good as a ride. And the only bit I've really got to do is fill in the back of the roof, which doesn't have to be aesthetically pretty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on the roof. This is just if you get to see the back more than anything. It's not really meant to be that pretty. I think one of those is possibly not quite right as well. Finish over the roof. You keep hearing things. And that's what I've had to do there, look. And then I've created like a fake canopy. Just to well, that's the back of the ghost house. Yeah, put a little canopy over there, and then all I need to really do is close these in, and it's not quite as important as the front from the point of view of aesthetics, because you're not going to really see it. So I just need to put those in, close it. Does need the top piece on as well, which is that one. Might as well put cross on the back as well. Have those down there. Mouse is flashing a battery war warning. Not me mouse I use for gaming. Me bloody laptop mouse. So the back filling in nicely. I don't really want people to be able to see all the trees sticking through, even though you can in places. So yeah, the last ghost house I made was a 2-story affair. This one I've just got a single story. And then just some bits to close in under there. Same bits. As I say, I'm not too bothered about the meshing because you're not really ever going to see this side. Closing it up for aesthetics. It's the same with this here, the back of here. I'm not too fussed. Make it look sort of from a distance that it's right. I'll tell you what I've seen, by the way. I've seen Wicked for Good today. If anybody cares. I've seen the second Wicked film. I actually really enjoyed it. Went with my cousin. Oh, happening. Do a mouse. Mouse is just on. It's the ad break. Oh yes, I saw Wicked for Good. Naga Pro battery is low. Yeah, I'm putting it on my charger and it's not charging. Got a proper charging dock. Although, to be fair, that charging dock has always been crap. So that's the haunted house, which I've called the So Long House. Or the stage version ones. So Long House. Something about death, you know, death, destruction. And I've filled in all the area around here with swamp trees and that as well. But yeah, I think, you know, the little haunted wood area is looking pretty nice. Probably not going to put a lot more here because, I mean, I don't like it. Swamp End's there, if you notice the sign. I've called it Lutfo's Bog. So now we're in Plains. We'll go over here and we're to Black Forest. So this is a little bit of Black Forest just here. That's the Great Spirit Way, which takes you through all this lot. And that is my launched freefall tower. So the important question is, what am I building today? The answer to that question is the roller coaster. I'm building Woody. I think we need a Woody. And I think we need the Woody to be over here. Hello, Marcus PG. It is very shiny Sunday, as you probably noticed. Very, very shiny Sunday. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to change the environment now. And the time of day to 0.5. So we're building in daylight and clear weather. So yeah, what I'm thinking is, I've got all this land over here, and sort of roller coaster I'm thinking of is a Woody. But I'm thinking of a Woody. Got these lovely little bits of stream through here as well, look. That one could do with probably continuing or joining up. This one's quite nice. This one's quite nice. It needs a tiny bit of attention because there's a bit there where it's a bit dry. Hello, Bobbin. Hello, welcome in. Welcome one and all. Thinking is if I drop down and level ground to that, that deepens that a little bit. Just replant it. Puts the reeds back in. Always replant when you've sowed grass. Oh, well, yeah. I promised last week. Now, whether Jessica, whether she's going to raid me, Lucy Rabbit Twitch is going to raid me or not, I don't know. If she does, she won't be disappointed. If she's on and you want to pop over and say, "Oh, Looney's in," I guess we are not talking. I think Vic's lurking actually, Boban. I think Vic's probably lurking, so don't be too hard on him. So yeah, what I'm thinking is a roller coaster, and I'm thinking a roller coaster down to the back of here. Let's have a look at the woods, because I want it to be fairly straight. So I could take it away from the main build and take it out here, which could work. But then it wouldn't be as ominous. We've had a portal to the hub. Oh, cool. Well, we can possibly have a look at your build once we've done some of this. I'm going to get my skull and crossbones on, and I'm going to clear a massive area of trees. Don't worry, I will put them back. Thinking they're parallel to the coast. Clear all this land here. Everything there, including all the animals and the deers and the rocks, and then I'm going to leave the land, I think, fairly as is. Probably replant some little clusters of trees along the front. It's a shame that, because that's a grave. The longboat. Yeah, there you go. Quickest way of killing a Quickest way of killing a creature. Up. Clear all this land here. Get rid of... I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. That can stay. They can go. The little barrow thing can stay. But it isn't the size I'd like. Then I won't be a burden. Good evening, Vic. Again. That's cleared all that land. Let's clear the stream. Right. So leave those as is. Why have they just appeared? Leave that as is. Yeah, the little trees are now loading in. Check no more have loaded in. So that's a nice long strip of land for a roller coaster. Perhaps ending at the Black Forest, because that seems like a good turnaround point. Ending it out a little bit. We'll be careful with that. Careful with that. I think there's a... Is that a summon stone as well? Oh no, it's just a arrow stone. That should be more than enough land cleared. Next build, we'll leave that there because that's cool. And leave those cluster of trees there. So that's a nice long straight section for the next coaster. The next coaster is going to be a woody. But I'm going to try and structure it a little more than my previous ones. So what I'm planning is, if you look, the wooden wall look has got rails on it already. Because I think last time I used that and flipped it over. Wall. There. If you look at it, the rails are offset, which is what I didn't like before. Wish you could expand your little island. Oh, if you talk nice to me, I'm like, oh, I can't give you admin rights. You can't use them. Can't use. That's the problem. You can't actually use the admin rights. You need a PC. Curious to see what Borbin is building. Oh yeah. We'll go and have a look later. Remind me. And have a look. When Mrs. Loons comes in, right? Let me just check how I'm getting this right. So. Yeah, I like the idea of the track there, but I don't like the idea of the fact that it's A, wood, and B, offset. So what I'm going to try and do, drop those rails in. But if I flip that over, turn it into a flat platform, and drop rails in. The only thing is, they're going to want to spawn. That's it. If I can get them to go like that, and do the same with the other one, they look more like roller coaster rails. I don't know why that's just loaded. Oh, I know why that's just loaded, because I've just pressed the Windows button. So they look more like roller coaster rails. And slightly off to one side. What I ought to do actually is build them, then put the piece in. That works better. So that one's slightly too far forward. There you go. Still slightly too far forward. That's the problem when you're guessing. Oh, hello, boar. I think they are pretty perfect. Yes, it's yes, belated Thanksgiving. I know you guys have Thanksgiving. We don't. We don't celebrate things like that. Right, so that's the first bit of the thing, and then what I'm going to do, because I've never done this before, is I'm going to put the walkway on at the build stage. Because the idea of this one, it's not going to invert. There'll be no inversions on it, so I'm going to put the walkway on at the build stage. Now, I don't think it'd be an idea to put the vertical on. I think the vertical would need to go on later. Let me see how it goes. Let me pipette that. That is a nice section of track. But I would need a station starting point. That angle. If I want to keep it to one of the main angles to start with, and then that should be easier. If I start it that angle, it pointing over in that direction, that puts the lift hill going up over that water. Now building pipette that. Right. So that's my starters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I reckon 10. 9. Don't intrude on the original building. That could be the station. Now, I need to go to the maximum number of snap positions now. Which is that. So we'll have a little pre-drop. Yeah, that's the problem. I picked it up. It's got the snapping positions in the wrong places. Let me try and sort that out rather than building pipette that. Try and sort it before I lose my rag and have to rebuild it again. Yeah, they're rotating with it. Let's try that one. That. I think I fixed that. I think that's fixed. That's correct. Well, that should still give me that. When I rotate it, should give me, yep, it giving me an up tilt look. There we go. There we go. Nothing fancy for your turkey day. Well, I know you guys enjoy your turkey day. I did actually watch the. I often watch. I mean, I know they're a little bit twee, but I do like Peanuts. Oh, we're going to put a pre-drop, weren't I? I do like Peanuts, and I do like watching the Snoopy Thanksgiving. It's not the best. So we'll have a pre-drop. Basically, if you don't know roller coasters much, what pre-drops do is they are there to take strain off the chain. What you do is, because you're going, you get them on a lot of coasters. A thing called a pre-drop. So I need to tilt that upwards. I need to probably double it now and take it up to its proper angle. Well, that can be the angle of the lift hill, that one there. Which is about 45 degrees. Get that as the lift hill. It's not going to be a massively high coaster, this one. It's a woody. Woodies are never stupidly high. I'm quite liking the railing on it though. I'm quite liking having the pre-railing. Right, so we need to take that out now. Banking. That's working. So we go into the first drop. So the maximum change really I should be doing is probably 3. Add a 3 now. That gives it a nice... First drop needs to be about 60 degrees. Oh, not like that. That's the only problem if I make a mistake. There's a lot to destroy. We'll do a 60 degree first drop. About that. And then it probably needs to be starting to pull it up pretty soon. Start pulling it up now. Just 2, 3. So, oops. That's the other thing when you've got infinity hammer on, you do tend to just end up with stuff everywhere. Have I still got my workbench? Oh, I've got the one behind here. Yeah, it's in here. There we go. Because I just broke my hammer. So yeah, this is what's known as an out and back roller coaster. A classic style of wooden roller coaster. And basically it does exactly what it says on the tin. It goes out and it goes back. And often you will have 2 layers stacked. So we need to take it up to the next hill. So there's enough room under there for another turn path if I need to. We'll start turning that back now. The second hill needs to be a lot lower than the first hill, otherwise it will lose all its inertia and you will get a rollback. Never been on a roller coaster that's had a rollback, but I've been in a theme park where a roller coaster's had a rollback and that was not great. So. Give us a nicely curved, nicely profiled hill. So another drop, another climb, and then I'll do the turnaround. This one I'll take slightly lower than the last one. And then start tipping it back up again. Hoping I don't hit the ground. Possibly going to hit the ground. Get up even sharper. 3, 3, 3, 3. Make it up to 3 there. Skeleton over there, look. It's actually, I think that's actually possibly a skeleton spawner. To be honest. I bet that's suitable for this one. And then we'll have the level out to the turnaround. Put another piece in the wrong place. Should be 3 drops, each one consecutively lower than the last. Now at the turnaround means we need Change the angle of rotation, so it's that one. 2 inwards. I'm not going to bank this one. Have a flat turn, so we get some good lateral G's. I'll bank some of the later ones. I'm wondering if I ought to turn it the other way around actually. Keep the wooden railing on the outside. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll turn it the other way around. I'll keep the wooden railing to the right. Turn it over the water. Pick that up again. That one I need to pick up. I'll bin that one. Otherwise I'll keep picking it up by mistake. That one. Cute cartoon. What about Snoopy? And Peanuts? Yeah, it's very twee. It's very twee and it's very, very, very American. But, you know, I mean, that's not a bad thing. USA has created some very lovely cultural things. Although, we'll blame them for some not very nice things as well. So that is a 2 turn. What I could actually do, have a flat turn, then bank it over and take it into that area of Black Forest there. That. That would be good. I've got Snoopy Tennis actually. You know the Nintendo Game & Watch? I've actually got Snoopy Tennis. It's not a great game, but it's one of the better Game & Watch games. Some of them are not very playable. They've not held up well. But yeah, so I'm thinking if I take it over to that Black Forest there, and perhaps even do a close pass, or over the top of that fortress, incorporate that into the structure. Bear. Right, take that up and then level it out again. Back through the trees. I can probably do quite a nice close tree pass here. Just hope that doesn't mesh with the structure at all, even when it's windy. So what I'm looking at is oh, they're showing gravity, look! Oh, let me repair those, quick! Yeah, they need to not show gravity. Forgot that pieces that I didn't put in will show gravity. Repair some of those. Need to come out, that one needs to come out. Just need to do a couple of repairs there because some of the pieces fell under gravity. So let's put the oh, I don't think I can put that one in, can I? No, because that's going to hit the track. But One of those in. One of those. That with it. Won't really matter if they're not quite straight on this one. I might actually make that one slightly crooked by design. So it looks like it's been hit. Very Swarm. Have you ever heard of a roller coaster called The Swarm? Thorpe Park Resort. Very The Swarm, where you go through a building. So that one's from heart. I think that should do. Need to clear some trees from here. Oh, it takes it into planes, look. So if I take those out, that gives me a good run. Question is, yeah, pipette that again. Do with dropping a copy of that at that angle actually over here. Right, pick that up. Pipette that. Don't rotate it at all. I'm just going to drop it over here. I can always pick it up later. So is that the right angle of dangle? Is the right angle of dangle? I'll have that close pass with that wood. I like that. That wood needs to go. Needs to go. But other than that, awesome. Right, so now I can turn it around. Take it back to level, turn it around in the planes. No annoying death... Well, death skeeters, yeah, you still get death skeeters. They're just because I'm... 2, 3. Let me keep this consistent. I'm not being clever and trying to bank this curve because they never work right on woodies. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. 3. Kick. 1, 2, 3. 3. Supports are coming later. Yes, supports are coming later. I don't actually need the supports to build the ride. Remember, I've got my hammer tools on, so when I repair a piece, if you notice, the number 1 and a lot of zeros goes up after it. But I've not quite done a 180 yet. And really annoyingly, I'm gonna have to go and quickly shift that tree. There a path through to that. About that. Need to make sure I've reached the... Is that 180? No, that is that. I need one more. Turn it into a 180. Would work with the maths. So clear some more trees. I want that one gone. That one gone. That one needs to go. That one stay. That one will need to go. On. We're going to do twos again. Should bring it down. I'm wondering if I could actually make a really nice splashdown. Because I could do a splashdown there. Now, technically, a splashdown would not be that early in a coaster's life. That's the problem. It's generally your last drop is your splashdown because you lose so much energy on a splashdown. So what I ought to do, go into airtime dips now. I do love a good airtime dip. People always go, oh, the biggest drop, the first drop's the best drop, but no, the airtime drops, they're the best drops. Get the bunny hills. Get 3 or 4 bunny hills in a row. So that should be following nice and squarely. So that's looking like an out and back woody. I'm not going to hit the ground. No, it's going to hit the ground. Yep, I will put the supports in later. What I'll do with the supports though, I'll do the same as I do on every other thing, and I will build a typical design of a support. Now what I'm wanting to do here is possibly cross the track over. So, hoping I can do a head chopper. Or perhaps take the track, snap to that corner. Oh, ignore that. Good. In a piece, wrong piece again, wrong place again. What I'm thinking is if I can take it parallel to that one. Again. Can't be that far off parallel now. Or are we off? We are one off parallel, I think. That should be parallel. Where's the flat one? Yep, that's parallel. So we will need to get rid of that tree. Back down. Bunny hills again. Am I doing the water thing? I could do. Because what I could do is I could drop the stream there. Drop the land there and put a water splash in there. Yeah, I could do. Put 2 again. Done it again. When you accidentally hit snapping auto. Said snap. Miles away in Ivake. So it's a case of copy paste now. It's a shame I couldn't just do a template hill, to be honest, for this bit. But they've all got to have a slightly different profile. What I could actually do is make this one a break run. Oh, by the way, my latest news is, I don't know if you know, but at Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the UK, we are having an incredibly tall gyro swing ride. And I think I'm going to build one in this game. And the thing about the gyro swing ride is, it's called Evictus. I have got a ticket to be one of the first riders. So that is... I think I'll build a gyro swing on here. Build a really big one like a Victus. So yeah, I'm going to be one of the first riders on it. Yes, a Victus. I might even call it a Victus. Just, I think Blackpool's already patented or copyrighted the name actually. We'll have. They are building it right now. If you want to find it, Aviktas. Evictus. It's Blackpool Pleasure Beach, it's at. A place I know very well. Right, so what I'm going to do... I'm going to now keep that as an even profile. I'm going to take it down into the water. Water splash. Get rid of all those. Lower the land here. Do it as a level terrain. And make that stream sort of feed it. Pleasure Beach, yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? It's nice. I can assure you it's very much not. I can assure you the owners are very straight-laced as well. So this can be the water splash. Beam splash, as we'll call it. Need to drop the angle of dangle. That is a little bit, I've pitched that up a bit too early. Keep it at that angle for another couple. Clear the weeds out of there. Take it up and out. It's going to have lost most of its energy at this point. Take it back up to the correct height. Too high. Yes, actually, they will seem familiar because quite a few of them, poorly maintained ones, have collapsed with very serious injuries. And we are just thankful for the fact that in the UK we have very good standards of safety. And rides are inspected to a very high standard. But yes, I know the ones you mean. They have, yes, we have a few collapses around the world. There was, oh, not that. That's my mistake. It's that I want. Now the only thing is I'm going to have to do quite a tight turn here if I want to keep it. Oh yeah, I've not built a Victus on John's server. I built similar though. So if I'm building at 1, 2, 3, go for a tight turn. Might need to tighten it up a bit more. Right, because I might need to like pitch it into the end. And this is going to be close, but I think it's going to just miss these trees. I might just be able to do this. Right. Turn that like that, overturn it. I can shorten the platform. Oh, pointing at the right place. Might just need to take a little bit off the platform there. Shorten the platform slightly. Or the other alternative is I tighten up that curve even more. You build that curve and make it even tighter. Or make it 4 and get rid of the trees while I'm at it actually. And also do put a kick out. Start with that because it's at its correct angle of dangle, and I'll put a kick out. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Out. Back in again. Pushes. Be nice actually, because that means I'll turn around at the sea. Turn around with a lovely sea view, look. Ah! Damn! It was actually fatal, one of them. Not a good one. The problem with them is the rides that fell were quite a lot older. They weren't regularly inspected for fatigue. The welds weren't inspected. So what happens is, if you leave them and neglect them, the column rusts inside. They snap. Yes, this is the problem. Which is why a fairground ride should always be inspected to an incredibly high standard. In the manufacturer's guidelines. Well, that's kicked it back further. Given me a lot more room to work. 1, 2, 3. Great, that should now be turning towards that. So that should now give me... I'm not sure what the height of that is. Go down a bit more. I can't remember whether that's actually dropping or... Yeah, that's still high. Why? About another 3. Now, is it right? So these are the ones that are going to have to angle. See, because of bloody sunlight reflection here. There we go. Well, that is, apart from a little step, that's not too bad. That is a wooden roller coaster. And the way I plan to build the supports, because you know about the supports, the way I plan to build the supports is I plan to do the same again and template it. I build a standard support, copy paste it lots of times. So if I remove the number of angles of snap, I'm always going to be guaranteed to be on one of... It's the nomenclature. To be honest, it could be... You could name this one if you want. I'm struggling for names for some of these rides anyway. I build that as a standard template piece. It's like a H piece. I build that. Loon's Deluxe. Oh, I'm definitely not Deluxe. So there'll be that one as a template piece. And then I'll copy that. Paste it at the side because I need a top one. That'll be a regular one. 4 high, and then I need a top one. You'll see why in a sec. I building pipette that one. And then start where I can. So the idea is this will be there. Like that. And I reckon 3 on the lift hill. Something with red in the name. Because of the red latex, you mean? Right, so what I will then do is on the drop. So they've all gone right. Paint it and bum if they're misaligned. On the drop, what I will do is I will go to every 4 and then I'm going to basically guess it so that they're about the same spacing. Put that one about there. Back to 3. Back to 4 for that. I think one of those snapped on track. Oh, nope. Yeah, I know I am creating a lot of instances here. I am very aware of that fact. You know what? I'm building the park big enough that things despawn when you're near them. We'll have that one there. Another 4, possibly even a 5. We're back to there. 3, 4 again. We are going to have to rotate soon. We'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Take to there, and then a 3. 3, and then this is the rotate. Now I shouldn't have to go too accurate on the rotation because I should be able to get them pretty much bang on. Like 32 snaps, I could be wrong. 64. There we go, that's the 64 snapper. Yeah, we're having to guess here because 2 snapping positions for each one, look. Back to 3 again. Four. And another 1, 2, 4. 3. 3. Probably getting to a point soon where we're going to be on all 3s. 4. 3. 3. 1, 2, 4. 4. Put 1 there, going into there. One just before I go in. 1 inside. One as I just come out. There we go. So where is where is your portal build? Right, I'm onto the turn now. I need to be back underneath. Thankfully, there are only 2 turns on this coaster. Good. And so just right button. I have. Dick. I'll pick that up again. And that one. That one. Named Sunset. You've built at the edge of the earth, haven't you, again? At World's Edge. I'll come and have a look at that in a bit. I'm guessing you're at work then, Bob, and so you can't come in yourself. It'd be lovely to see you in here. Ah! That means when you get one of those wrong, you've got to take it all down. One. So we are on to the next tilt. So this is just where you basically go underneath it and just roughly squint it. And to be honest, every 3 seems to be 1 rotation on the lesser. I think that's right, is it? That's right. Very aware that I'm putting a lot of elements in, but the thing is, they won't spawn the ground. Don't think I'm going to need that many extensions on this bit. I think these are all shorter and none of them are going to come out of the ground, or most of them aren't. Even that one, look, just a tiny bit on bottom. Here's the drop. One there. Let me just check they're still lined up okay. Yep, up okay. There. 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 No need for any of that. Right. Go. So that's the brake run. There's the problem. There's so many bloody snapping points when there's a curve. There we go. Oh look, first time chat, ban the bot. Yeah, I think you can ban the bot. Ban and bin the bot. Right, there we go. Oh, you know, he's not around. Let's just deal with that. My mouse has woken up. I don't think it has. That person. And them. There we go. And the bot. Right, so that's my roller coaster pretty much built. What I need to now do is go around with the building pipette and carry on doing these. There's a few more to do actually. So these should be a little bit easier. Well, there would be if you didn't keep hitting the right mouse button. The building pipette, that. Rotate it round. So that's the idea of it. That the pieces stack like that. So most of them should be, well, should be no more than 3. There might be a couple with it's a 4th one. There, look, that's a 4th one. Fourth one as well. Yeah, I banned it. I banned it, go, because I noticed you'd had to go out. So I banned it. Banned the bot. So that should now be pretty good. That one's clear. That one's just floating at the bottom. That one's in ground. That one's in ground. That one's floating. It's floating. That's just broke me hammer. I'll mend it again. There's the one thing you cannot make infinite tools, no matter what you do. You cannot make an infinite tool. A big problem. Everything breaks. I've just put one in ground there. I don't know where it is. I will find it later. Probably getting to the end of 2's here. I think that one's... No, that one's bedded in. That one's bedded in. One's floating. Floating. They're both bedded in. They're going to interact with that rock anyway. They are. Very nicely with that rock. So using this creates a nice rustic effect to the ports. Works really well, especially with the Black Forest. Don't look too bad in planes either. So we're back down to, that one, believe it or not, is pretty much grounded. With these, will all be grounded. That one is not. No, I think that one's going to need another one below it. Yeah, it is. Is that one? Is that one just? We're back down again. One needs one below it. They're all okay. They're okay. That one's okay. That's floating. That one's floating. Floating. I think we're nearly there. Fine. That one's fine. That one's floating. Probably not far off. There'll be a couple there that float. That floats. It's fine. They're all fine. So the only ones there is left to do is these here. Need to pick up the first one again. Building pipette. That one. That's a lot of commands. I've got quite a few commands, haven't I? I need to slim those down a little bit, I think. Although there's a lot of them I never actually use, even though they do work. Things like, you know, the gamble, the 8-ball and stuff like that. They do actually all work. I put one there. Right, that is a roller coaster finished. What I'm thinking is build an aesthetic bridge that goes over that. Let's lower this a little bit. Lower it a little more. I don't think there's anything goes through there, so we will have dark grass there. A little bit there, look. That neck is going to be flat. That neck's going to be very flat. Put in for aesthetics. And just level a bit more terrain. Just there. Not there. He's done it again. Oofish. Oh yeah, yeah. The oofish is there. You need to. It's redeem. Ooh. The oofish is definitely there, unless something's broken. But the oofish is definitely there. One. Told you it was there. Right, that's now got that. So that's a nice splashdown. A little bit of mud coming through. I have to just pickaxe that down a little bit more. Modify it with a pickaxe rather than deepen it. One thing is it's giving me stone, which I really don't need. I can pick it up, I think. I can pick that up. Right. Now, get rid of the grass. I don't want reeds popping through. Put the grass back there. Those reeds are a bit close to the track, aren't they? Yeah, they're a bit close to the track, them. I did that up as well, because that's crap. It looks like I've done a really bad job of modifying terrain. Same there, deepen it a bit. Get a bit deeper. Oh God, listed redeems. Now you're asking me. It's only my stream, you know. Are you expecting me to know this sort of thing? I think that is looking pretty good now. Let me just pick that stone up. Get rid of that bit of grass that seems to have reappeared. We want some reeds, just not there. Want some reeds at the side of it. And I prefer lily pads actually. I love the lily pads. So that's made the waterways make a little more sense. And the only other thing I need to do, hack this one a bit deeper. Yeah, redeem item, there's ooh and stuff like that. Right, that's deepened that a little bit. That's more of a channel. It does go up to a bit of a dead end here. I'm not a fan of the way that streams sometimes just dead end in Valheim. I like them to go a little further. There's a nice little bit of water there, which I think I'm going to deepen. I'm going to turn that into a pool. Right. Deepen that slightly. Turn it into a proper pool. Then level it. There you go. I don't want it to be massively deep. Just deep. That depth. Just so it's a pool rather than a bloody lake. Make it under the track there as well. I just wish we had like a soften feature. Soften off the edges, but unfortunately we're not blessed with that. That is looking good though. Kept all the grass. Splash down, we've got a first hill, got a turn, and apart from the fact it's left to right, and we've got a building pass through. I'm pleased with that. Really pleased with that. I'm going to have to remove that though. Please don't collapse. Please don't collapse. Put a slightly skewish block there. It looked like it's been hit. Same there. Oh, we've got that stupidity going on there. It looks slightly rustic. Just tilt that that way. So it looks like it's been hit like that, look. There we go. Got a sort of look about it, sort of feel and vibe of a wooden coaster. Now the station is going to be over here, which means we need to get to it. So I'm thinking path over the splashdown. So let's reset that. Start as we mean to go on. I think let's start the path there. I can use that tree. Put one in grass somewhere there. Where is that? There. That tree as a close path structure. Do a close pass on the that. So now I need to tip it upwards. Well, 2 angles upwards. 4. Oh, backward down. Enough headroom. Yep, that gives me enough headroom. And that is looking like it's going to aim quite well. That gap. We need to go back down 1, 2. And again, where have I put that? It's in the ground somewhere. Can't see it. That's the right angle. Right angle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. What's my overhead clearance? Yeah, that's enough. So that's the path to the coaster. Yeah, I could have made the entrance between. Well, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. You know, you need to make sure a head chopper is not that choppy. So that's a good head chopper. That there, if there's a chance they can reach it, I can just put some grills, which is what I did with the other coaster. So what I'd do with that is put the, do that, go to the right angle of dangle, tip that upwards like that, and then just tip it outwards ever so slightly. It's at the right angle. So that basically just stops people reaching. Yeah, you don't want heads off. Don't want heads removing. So that'd be just like a stop kids interfering, or big kids. But yeah, it's not a good idea to end your customers, is it really? Now what I'm thinking is here is that the path onto the ride goes off here. If I pipette that, that is the last piece, because that one's, oh, that one's still flat. That one's tilted. So that's the last piece, so we could have that path get on the ride. And that. I don't think that's the same angle, is it? Oh, it is, it is. Same angle. Don't look it. So the way off the ride would be pull out where the nice. That I think. That's the end of the right section. See what that works like. Right, angle down a bit. Does that line up? That lines up. Just puts the door in the wrong place. So if I like one. That puts me pretty much halfway along a tile. About if I do that. One, two. Right, if I do. There we go. Gives me a nice slope down. Brings it beautifully to line up with the edge of the rail. But this latex ain't warm. We've done another one inside there. There we go. What I'm thinking is to put the coaster quite close up to that. We can use the back of the back to create a really cool effect. See what I mean? I put the building like that. I think that's as far as I can go. Do that. I need one more. Yeah, one more. Pipette that piece. Easier to just copy an existing piece than it is to try and make a new one. That's going to be the last page of the station. Is Mrs. Loon's making me a drink? Probably. She's very busy, so I'm not too upset if she doesn't, if she forgets. Well, that's how that goes. And we would take that would be the far edge. Don't worry, I am going to remove that. Well, that would be the far edge of the station. So. The idea would be that that should line up beautifully with that. And then take those out. Put those in. Those in there. That is the far side of the station, is there. Should. Perfectly there. That's the bottom of the station platform building filled in. So this bit needs to be quite pretty, this I think. It's a very pretty coaster. Just pipette one of those. Easier to get the angle of dangle right then. Very pretty coaster. So I'm thinking a very pretty is to be like that. And I do that. Do it that way. I'm thinking go for the double layered style. This here needs to be visibility panels though. Needs to be visibility panels because we've got the coaster goes inside the building. Do a double structure. I'm going to put the secondary structure on the outside and you'll get what I mean. So the secondary structure is going to be dark oak. It's going to be ashwood, sorry. For the ashwood we need to align it a door away. We'll do that. The ashwood up like that. Once you've got to the position, you just go along the top like that. Think. Rid of the door now. Do that. Do that. Now what I can do is I can destroy each alternate one. A bloody hammer again. Let me go and repair it and make myself a bloody workbench over here. Right, workbench. Put one under track. Because it's probably going to be closed in under track. Put a workbench under there. Workbench under there like that. Right, so I need that. We're creating a double layered structure. I'll do the same on the other walls. Same would apply there. What we need to do with this is, again, put visibility panels in. I think there will only be 2. Check the position of those, make sure they're right. There will only be a small number of these. That one I think will stay in, those won't. Can't blame her, she must be... It's extreme. Latex stream? She doesn't wear latex. Yeah, no raid from Lucy. Yeah, she's done. She's already done. Well, I mean, you know, you can't always presume somebody's going to raid you. It's presumptuous, that. If I get raided, I get raided. If I don't, I don't. If I get any viewers, I get viewers. If I don't, I don't. I don't really mind either way. Well, this is the bit where I've got to get this to look right. Well, what I'm thinking is this needs to have... Oh, not like that. with the right angle and angle for starters. Because what you end up with is that going off, which aesthetically a bit weird. So that's the base. Well, that'll go. That's going to be an arm chopper. Don't bother with those. What I'll do is I'll put the same piece twice, flip it round, put the same piece twice again. I think look really nice. That gives us a nice wide opening where misses. Pipette that. As I said multiple times, it is much easier to just pipette an existing piece at the right angle than it is to try and find the angle of dangle of a correct piece. Right, I'm going to put those in there. What I'm going to do with them, I'm going to put one of those above each. They need to be on the inner structure, which is going to be interesting. Put those like that on the inner structure. So what I want to do is I want to turn those to that. Just put those at the bottom to flatten them out. There we go. That creates like a handrail effect. Shame actually that that's a little bit low, because that'd be lovely to build go out through underneath the track. The idea of that is that I'm going to put these on this side as well. So I need maximum snappage. Just for this bit. This is just where it goes through there. Once it heads back outside, they disappear again. What I will do is I will put those in there. Fill it in slightly. And finally on. And on that side, delete those. Clear that view. And the last one. Looks cool. Underneath, put Really mint. The wood follows very nicely on the profile as well. Right, so what I can do now is I can put the small pieces in like that. I think I can go as far as there. Can't quite do that one. Unless use a door, create an alternative snap point. Do the old snappy trick. That might create me an alternative snap point that's a half piece away. Like that. There we go. That now pleases me. Finally. Get that piece, copy it. Get that piece, copy it. Get that piece, copy it. There. Oh. Get that piece and copy it. I think that's the last one. Get rid of that. 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 And there's one in there I can just see. And that one. We go. So that's the internal bit of coaster. What I'll do is just close in under there. No. Closing under there. I'll leave that open. Finish off that with a I actually like that. I like that like that. That looks really cool. Looks really good like that. I like that. That looks ace. Right, so the next bit I need to do is put a roof on it. And obviously fill that side in. That side's going to be a little bit easier. Put a roof on it, so do a Norman Looney patent roof, which involves, that is the correct snapping position, the internal one, not the external one. That's the correct snap. We'll have one of those, and one of those, one of those. Gives me the overshot rule. What's it looking like over the track here? So that's the only bit, it's that over the track, is it low in, is it high enough? Or am I going to have to pitch up it quicker? Pitch up quicker just in case. See what it looks like pitched up quicker. Bearing in mind you're going to be sat down. Better. Now the nice thing with that is that's balanced well. I copy that again at the same angle again, actually a really nicely balanced ride layout. See what I mean? Where's the roof gonna be end at? Middle is... oh, the middle is actually a proper midway piece. Nice. That's nice, isn't it? Then same again, back to the yellow pitch the edge. Might as well just put the shallow pitch on. They're all 1,000,000 points anyway, these pieces, so they ain't gonna snap. Deep pitch while I'm at it. Nice and high inside as well. Like that. That gets the piece in. Drop those on now. Oof. Well, that's how that'll look at one end. Plus, when you come in, you get a really cool view of that. In mint. I think I can now. Those. That one. And possibly even the section of track. I'll tell you what, I'll leave the section of track there for a moment. It's not hurting it. In case I accidentally delete anything later. So I'll do the same pattern again. Basically those on top of that. Go up. Gives me a nice visibility through. Same here, but this end I can actually just close it up properly. Now what I might do is double width that path actually. And create a double width path there. Still need to create a train as well. I think we'll carry on that pattern. How to snap. I think I can get those in there. They pop up. They're popping through slightly, so they're no good. Do it that way then. Oh, I believe I hear. Yes, I hear. Think. Oh, it's hot. And hot chocolate. Mmm. No spoon to eat it with. This is going to be fun. I've got chocolate to eat it with. Got fingers. Good evening thing, everybody says. I'm disgusting. This is so disgusting. It's good job my trousers are white clean. They are absolutely. Oh, ginger biscuit. Chocolate coated ginger biscuit. Like God tier. Eat the cream on top. We're nothing if we're not innovative. I am having an awful time. Absolutely dreadful. Anyway, I've got a build to do here. I was going to drop that on there, like that. I think that'll do it. Like that. And then turn to a flipped half piece. Might work. Right. So what I need to do basically, because I've raised them on the side, is I need to do the same here. Otherwise, what will happen is, I flip those two round. That should now create my snap point. There we go. Do that. And then I'll put that pattern there. Swap. That out. Put that pattern there. Windows there. Right, what you can do as well, at the end of there, you can actually do that. Right, and it doesn't look bad. Sort of just pops through. not badly. Then I'll line all the edges with appropriate beams. That one. That one. Big cross at the top. Back to that one. That's what that end will look like. I will put raven adornments on it. Well, not really put many raven adornments on. That's the end. I think she's put a bit of Bailey's in there. Got that slightly alcoholic flavour to it. I bet she's snuck a shot of Bailey's in. So that's that end done. While I'm still at this, I'm just going to quickly sort this path out, and I can do it. I change the path to do that. That has my snapping point. From there. Snap to there. Snap to there. Now move that one and that one. Those two. In. Ramps there. Those two. So that can now be an in and out path. Boozy Christmas pudding, not yet. The only thing with that is it will now need to angle a lot steeper. Get the a good job I put that in there that I've now closed in. Should be able to still reach it. There we go. I left that end open. Knew there were method in my madness. I'm thinking is if I turn it like that, rather than carrying the bridge on, do that. So what I could do, split it like that. Make sure I put the snaps right. I need to change the snap points on those. Snap points will need to be the inside. That. And that. One. This. Oh. So this one needs to drop. Two. Below that. Tell you what, let's just use steps, eh? Keep doing this step-free access thing. If I do that, take it down pretty much to ground level. Underneath. Up. I like it. Plus you get to explore the that should be much on a level. It's almost on a level. There we go. So that's the entrance and the exit. Put it out. The entrance can go along the back here. Once that drops down, I want to keep that a bit, to keep the people away from it a bit more. So, one more chicane. This one. There's another one in there somewhere. That. Quite nicely closed in then, you see. Paths. That would be like that. That one is a simple get out one. Put that one in a bit. Finish the station now. Right. Same again is the door outside. Create a snapping point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that front pattern here. Even though there's no door, copy in the same pattern. So it'll be that. That. But the difference is I cannot put that there. I'll have to go up there. That is the only difference. Pudding shots. Who's having are you having pudding shot? There's a boar walking along my bloody roller coaster. Walking along gangway. Is that for real? I'm going to leave that boar there. That is so cool, a boar walking along my track. He's going in water there, isn't he? Going there. So perhaps it's an idea, if I want to stop him getting in again, to put some fence in there. I can't believe he's gone all the way around track. It's there, look. Wild and hungry. Like me. So that can be... Those can be taken down. Ground level. Same with that one. No, not that one. There is one there. That one. Done wrong. There. I could put a zoo on the... put a zoo in here. It would be so funny having a zoo. Put one of all the animals in. I'll just go a bit Noah's Arky and just put all the animals 2 by 2. Right, so what I'm going to do here, because obviously we've got a bit of an issue, do that. Which give me a same snapping point. That. Well, the other thing is I could theoretically put the closing pieces in there, but I'm not gonna. Right, so those need to go on like that. Like that. Like that. We don't have one on the last one. I need to basically mirror the far end. 2 of those. 1 of those. One of those. That one, that one, that one, that one. And then that one's a half piece. Side. With that. 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 Give the boss some mushrooms over your friend. I know he will. Taming boars is so easy, actually. They are the easiest creature in Valheim to tame. Loxers are the ones you don't want to try taming. Loxers are just horrible. Loxers, it's cloudberries, isn't it? Right, so that doesn't really work because it juts into there just slightly. However, if I do that and that, it does work. Juts in slightly. It still gives me a bit of clearance. If you put your arms up, you're going to lose them, aren't you? So I suppose it's a good lesson for keep your arms and legs in the car at all times. Otherwise, Norman Looney's roller coaster will, quite literally, remove them. Put the pieces along there, and then I just need to dress the outside of that. So that's looking cool. It's looking bloody beautiful, that. I love that. I'll just copy that pattern across to this side. Using the door. Yeet oldie door trick. On. That's there. These ones on first. And to do, put all of them in at once. Does not all of them in. Beat every alternate one. Flip for one round. Corners in. production line method. Take those down to the ground. So that's the double layered building method. You redeem your slab. Well, you keep saying hydrate, but does chocolate work? I have a chocolate rather than a hydrate. Right, so the bottom of there is actually wrapped. Well, so the bottoms of those is wrapped. That one's all wrapped. So I think that is pretty much a structure. Well, how big is that? Is it? That's an odd number of length. So I will put that like that. Wondering if I can do this, if this would work. I don't know if it would. It could look interesting, it could look shit. I do that. Put those on the quadrants like that. Because to be honest, I'm not bothered a rain getting in. I just want something basically put like the wind or heat out, and I put tiny braziers in. And braziers in like that. Something. Get rid of the smoke. So that's the in and out paths. Stalls. Like so. Check these actually, see if these work. Like that. Look. Stalls in anyway. And then I'll build a car. So that's the other reason why I wanted a piece of track. Because I need to build a car on the track. Building prepare that. Keep it on that angle because that's the correct angle. Build a car. If I can keep a car to one piece wide, that would be good. I don't know if I can. Certainly try. So let's have spacer beam first. Get me the reset that. Go to that one. So that makes the car the width of the track, which is too wide. I put 1, 2, 3, 4. That. That is a narrower cart. Which I can do. That for the flooring. The other one, like so. Yeah, nice flooring. Then one of those at an angle. That's flooring. Yeah, I've got to keep these quite small. Try that. That gives me a front. Gives me a back. Yes, on the snap. Nice turn that. Oh, I'm going to gain nothing, am I? I'm rocking that out. That way. Rocking it out and back slightly. And there. If I rock that out, back. Looking pretty neat. And finally, a seat. What do I look like sat in there? Pretty good. Right. Wheels are going to be very difficult to do on this one because it's so tiny. So low to the track as well. Well, let me now get rid of the track. And put some wheels under them. But so that will be the fronts to the next one. Put a catch on. Catch the next car. Be a catch to the next one. It may be that those bays don't line up, which is a possibility. Wheels just need to be as close as I can get them. Wheels need to be, because they need to be inside the wheels, don't they? External wheeled. Let me try putting. Let me try some there first. Would be spawn and buckler. Shield iron buckler. For them. All that coal. Whatever that is. Ectoplasm actually, that is it. Ectoplasm. Right, so the iron bucklers, 6 there. There. That's the iron bucklers. And then what I'd probably do, same again there. Need to be slightly inside. Probably do that. Put an axle along the back. Do that. And then put the same inside with the iron bucklers again. On shield, iron buckler, 2 again. I can't remember if the shields copy with a building pipette. I think they do. 6 there. There. Let's have a go at that. building pipette that. But yeah, that has picked up all the pieces. On the track looks like I might need a snapping position. I'm gonna snap too low. So let me create a snapping position. There. Create a snapping position and then building pipette again. See if it snaps to that. Should do. Right, that looks better to me. Is it going to snap to the middle? That's the only bit now, is I need a middle piece at the back. So what I need to do is I need to create an actual bar through the middle. Like that. Double it even, like that. That. Not that. Do that. Right, yeah, so if I do that on the proper train, create a snap bar at the back. Perhaps even leave the iron in. Leave the iron wood in. That creates a snap position there. That should now have a snap position in there. Yeah, it has. Right. So part of me is wanting to get rid of that and leave the iron like that. Building pipette that. That should allow me to then line up my gates. So my gates are not lined up. Pieces. Boss, they are. That's going to be a guessing. Just going to be just a guessing game on these. But there's one there. One's about there. About there. One is actually not too far away. One there. Moving in slightly. The line up pretty much with the just after the back of the train. That looks about right on those, but not on that one. For fuck's sake, hammer again. What's the board doing? Probably riding coaster. It's probably on its third ride. Apparently it's paid for unlimited credits. The only one that needed sorting was that one. Snap about there. That gives me proper gates. I will then put one at that angle on every one to guide you in. Car. That one's a little bit far. There we go. That's got the loading area, so you go in there. You can go to Bay 1, which is the front bay. You go to Bay 2, and I think anything else would be gilding the lily on that one. I know they are not tall enough, they're not wide enough. We'll put those like that actually. Oh, she's going into the bay wrong. One's the wrong angle, as is that one. Could be 3. And you'll know it's 3 because when you put that in, right, so go. Right, let's get some lights in here. Some torches. We'll have torches if I put them on the circle there. Circle where the 4 pieces match there. You can like sort of make them flash like that. You know you're in the right places. You can make them all pretty much flash as you're just touching your mouse. You know you're pretty. Have one there. This here I'll do with standing torches. Those. And one on the corner there, if I can get it to itself in. Right, that's the operator's cabin. That needs a operator's booth. The operator stands, so we'll put an operator's booth in. Wood pillar. Fine. There we go. Operator's booth. Close that area in there because that's a bit of a risk. I'll just put those in. Ideally, do it from the outer one, not the inner. Do it from the outer. There we go. Right, let's put some trees around it now, because obviously I've absolutely removed all the trees. Put structures under here. I think that one lands in the track. Oh, that one's actually lands in the... Lands alright, actually. And I need to try and get one there. That one sort of lands in the... Thinking if I put it onto there instead, that doesn't touch the track. In there. Is your nice... That looks good. Your last little bit of the ride. So that's the last straight one, isn't it? I'm gonna have to do that way. But as a three pattern. Yeah, that actually works. That works perfectly. work. Probably won't on the other side. That's one of those things. However, it does work very well on this side. Looks good. We need to put that to there, which would go in halfway in there, so we'll not bother with that one. That neck's doing fair things as well. That's the drop. That. The only thing I think here always going to happen is move that one across one. Otherwise it's going to be in the middle of the track. The only thing I think I'm going to have to change on that one. That in, that's in. The same there. And the only problem we've got is obviously is this is not quite that I liked. Redo that. Just trumpet it out slightly. It should be able to get a decent thing going on. All I need to do then is that. That, and then there's just a couple of bits there, so if I put that one there instead, just fill those little gaps in. There. Got your proper entrance. Exit I'll think about later. Can't be arsed with doing that now. Let's just stick some trees back around it and make it look like it's actually loved. Pipette some trees. Pipette that one first. We've got beach one. I think there's only beach one actually. Oh no, there's beach two. That's beach two. Or is it? No, they're all beach one. All beach ones. Have it as a bit of a treetop coaster. Bend it through the trees. Uh-oh, trees. In there, put a beach in there. Or one in between. Oh, I forgot to do that L. Thought I'd done all those. I can go back and do that. That later. Right, let's put a couple of trees in here. That and there's a birch. Maybe each one. It's the birch I want. Birch is the white one with the pluses on it. In case you're wondering, that one there. The birch. Silver birch. Do some birches at the end here. Eyes on those. You don't want to make them too big because they pixelate. The trees a bit more closed in. Birch there. This side here. All of these. What would be cool is if I can get it to go under a tree. I think that one. Quite a close pass to a tree. Like that. Get one of those. Same again. So you get a close pass. You get a branch flapper. So now it's closed in, you see, it's looking a lot better. Apart from this path needing a bit of TLC. We've gone quite close. Oh, that's a bit too close to that ride. Move that one, put it further back. Oh. Not encroaching on any rides now, so we've got a dark little path. Come in and you get that view. Just pretty good. Hey. We carried on path here, which will go through here. So you'll get probably another 2 or 3 crossovers. And eventually, it'll make it back to here. But next time, I need to the boat go wee. The boat spawns in. The boat spawns in. Like that. Because I'm going to lower that. I think it's a bit too high to go. Start. Yeah, it's great when they just like appear. I need to also close in under there, but I'm going to do that using that wood. Closing all under the edge of the deck. Just things like that need doing, little dressing things and possibly something here. Thing I don't know what. It won't be, probably not a ride. It's not quite a big enough space for it. But something interesting. I think for now, enough for tonight. I've built a bloody big roller coaster. I think it's a fair old achievement. But call it a night because it's nearly 10. Oh, it is 10 to. Call it a night. Night view. Yeah, unfortunately. Fortunately, yes, we have to. Sometimes we have to stop these things, and the fun is over. I only have a limited tolerance, to be honest. So I will be back. I'm going to do some more building tomorrow night in game, but I'm not in stream, obviously. And I'll be back on Tuesday. I know we were originally saying about doing a game of. Oh God, I was going to do an island visit, weren't I? Let's quickly do an island visit and have a quick look at your island, eh? Go. I'm assuming it's in the main portal house. So where's your portal then? Where you put your portal? Called Sunset. So Hilda Witch Sunset. There we go. Let's have a look where we are on the map once we spawn. So there we are. We are not too far away from. We're on the same island. I think we're on the same island as my. I can't remember where it is now. The river is. I can't remember where the river is. Anyway, let's look at sunset. So this is sunset. Ooh. Oh, you're going for a log theme on it. For a logs and stone theme. That's going to be a hotel. Let's have a look. You ready for it? Ready for this? This is sunset. Got stone chimney. Rooms going in, obviously. Just go off. Well, actually, let me stay in fly mode because I can go out through the roof and show you it properly. Right, there we go. Sunset. That's a nice location, that, isn't it? Nice little location. Yeah, I've noticed the double chimney. What are we in? Meadows as well. So you've got a tiny little bit of meadows at the end of a black forest. That is black forest. Got a nice quiet biome as well. These rocks are cool as well. You've got 3 rocks together like that's quite uncommon. Oh yeah, the front faces the sunset. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have a look. Have a look. TOD 0.65. The sunset. There's the sunset. And gone. I think 7's good. 7's best. 1 deep but 1 wide. Yeah. That's cool. Cool that. We shall check it on that later. Well, thank you for watching anyway, and let us all bid you good night. I will see you on Tuesday.